It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Wednesday, the 19th of November. I'm Michael Groff, still dealing with the creepy crawly crud, some kind of bug of some kind or another, so bear with me as we try to get through this video today. Active weather across the southwest, again with an area of low pressure moving across the region, so numerous showers, some scattered thunderstorms. A few of those could be on the strong side. Just like we saw yesterday, some mountain snow, breezy conditions, much cooler temperatures. In fact, daytime highs, the coolest we've seen around here in probably about 8 months or so. We'll continue with that tonight. There's also the possibility of some flood or flash flooding over parts of the state and maybe not far from the valley or portions of the northern northwest valley. We'll talk about that. Plus, how long is all this going to last? We have another weather system due in here this weekend. How will that impact us? And what about that all-important forecast for Thanksgiving? We'll talk about all of it and everything else as long as my voice holds out as we dive on in and discuss. First, the Almanac from yesterday, 73 degrees was the afternoon high here in Phoenix. And when I say afternoon, just afternoon, because then the rain kind of came in. 60 was the morning low temperature. 75 and 53 are the averages for this time of year. Officially in the bucket at Sky Harbor Airport yesterday, 707 inch of rain. Although a fair portion of the West Valley saw significantly more than that. We saw some rain totals anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch, and a few locations picking up well over 1 inch yesterday. So, and we've seen that again overnight tonight and this morning, some more localized areas of some pretty heavy rain. And obviously yesterday, if you were out in Avondale, Cashin, parts of Goodyear, West Phoenix, there was a severe thunderstorm that came through. We saw some wind damage. There was a tree down here not far from Studio B. So a lot going on yesterday and a lot still going on today as we take a look outside right now here at about 11:20 a.m. The sky's looking a little bit ominous out there. We do have some showers around a little bit away from the valley, except for the far southeast valley. A couple of showers still coming down. 63 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point's 57. Humidity 83%, the wind light, the barometer steady. Let's check the current radar. And again, a couple of showers for the southeast valley. Most of the precipitation right now continues to sit to the west of us, but that's going to make its way a little further to the east as we go through the day today and tonight. Now, the heaviest precipitation is still likely to stay across the west and the northern portions of Maricopa County. And so that's going to be kind of the theme of this storm system, but that's not to say if you're away from those areas, you couldn't pick up some locally heavy downpours, and that's going to hold through at least tonight. And then some more scattered showers in here tomorrow. What's going on? Satellite picture, we put this in motion. There's that area of low pressure. It's just been it's been hanging around, and moisture continues to spiral in here. And so as it does, and that southwesterly flow that hits those mountains, and we see some good orographic lift. I mean, yesterday, Flagstaff picked up almost 2 inches of rain. They set a record yesterday, and they did have a trace of snow as well. So, you know, this has been producing some pretty impressive rainfall totals over parts of the state, but I know, you know, people always talk about what happened at their house, and we got some mixed reports. Some people said that they've hardly had anything. Other people have said they've had 1 or 2 inches of rain. It just depends upon where you are, not only in the valley, but statewide, because, of course, so many of our viewers are outside of the greater Phoenix metro area, and they've had various reports as well. But generally speaking, if you're over western and northern Arizona, you've had some pretty good rainfall totals. The southeastern part of the state, sadly, has been relatively dry. All right, let's check out the watch warning map. And there it is, a flood watch over parts of Texas. We also have a flood watch here in Arizona. This includes parts of western northern Maricopa County, Yavapai. Parts of the greater Phoenix area are included. Places like Scottsdale, Peoria, Surprise, Circle City, Whitman, Beardsley, up toward Wickenburg. Those areas are under this flood watch. The rest of Phoenix, if you're in Avondale, Goodyear, Cashin, Phoenix proper, Tempe, Sun Lakes, Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa, Apache Junction, no, you are not in this. Fountain Hills, you're not in this. But the far northern part and the northwestern portions of Maricopa County and the northern portions, the far northern portions of greater Phoenix, you are in that flood watch. And look, you know, nature doesn't operate on these artificial boundaries that we put in. Does that mean if you're not in Peoria, if you're in Glendale, for example, you couldn't see some flooding? It does not mean that. You could. These are conditions, flooding conditions, flash flooding conditions are possible in and close to the watch area. So bear that in mind. And that, by the way, runs through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. All right, the convective outlook for today, we've got that marginal risk of severe storms over portions of Texas and Oklahoma, western Arkansas. Here in Arizona, we're in the green, thunder possible. We don't anticipate organized severe weather, keyword organized, but some isolated severe cells, at least briefly severe cells, could pop up. We saw that yesterday. Again, out here at Studio B, early afternoon, about 1 o'clock, we got rocked by a severe thunderstorm here. Did some tree damage and a little hiccup there. And then we had some small hail. We had some very heavy rain with that as well. So again, that's always possible in a setup like this. We just don't anticipate anything widespread. All right, the tropics in the Atlantic, the Gulf, the Caribbean, nothing going on there. Nothing for the next 7 days, probably nothing for the rest of the season. We'll keep an eye on it. East Pacific, same story. The precipitation outlook, this is valid through Wednesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, anywhere from about 2/3, 3/4 of an inch up to about 1 inch. Your amount will vary, though, and I'm going to stress that because, again, we're going to see some widely variable amounts in a setup like this. Not everybody is going to get an even rainfall distribution, unfortunately. It's the nature of this kind of showery pattern with some briefly convectively driven cells as well. The heaviest precipitation will be along and south of the international border. But yeah, just about anybody can pick up some locally heavy downpours. Keep that in mind. This represents an average of what you'll see across the region. So what's going on with this weather pattern in more detail? To figure that out, we'll explore the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. The GFS, the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars. That's about 18,000 feet up. High pressure over the eastern part of the country, warming up there, but out here over the southwest, there's that area of low pressure that's just been hanging around here for a while. And that system is slowly making its way eastward across the region. We've got some decent moisture associated with it, but mostly this is a colder system than what we saw over the weekend and slightly less moisture associated with it. So there's more dynamics involved, which contributes to more of a model spread, more of a precipitation spread of uncertainty here. But what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, call it mostly cloudy, numerous showers, widely scattered thunderstorms, high temperatures for the rest of the day today. Yeah, pretty much where they are now. We should hold in the mid 60s this afternoon. Not going to get much warmer due to the clouds and the expected precipitation around here. The warmest desert spots may creep into the upper 60s, and if you're across northern Arizona, 30s and 40s. And there's going to be some snowflakes flying up there around Flagstaff. I would say the majority of the precipitation will still remain as rain, but some snow will be coming down. And of course, if you get further up there, above 7,500, 8,000, 9,000 feet, it's all snow. All right, for tonight, scattered to numerous showers, isolated thunderstorms, locally heavy rain will continue to be possible overnight, particularly across the northern portions, then the northwest portions of greater Phoenix and western Maricopa County, and further to the north over parts of Yavapai County up into the Prescott Valley, Yarnell, maybe up toward the Verde Valley. You can see some pretty heavy downpours up there the rest of the day today and tonight. Overnight lows here in Phoenix will generally be in the 50s. Here's tomorrow. Oh, this is the, let me show you this first. This is the HRRR. I forgot to mention this. This is our HRRR model, just to kind of give you an idea of how things are going to progress. This is 5 o'clock this afternoon, coming off of the HRRR, the simulated radar product. And yes, showers, some embedded thunder, that will continue. Oh, and I wanted to show you this too. Sorry for a little bit of a disorganization here, but this is the convective available potential energy, the CAPE, this afternoon. And this is why we do believe thunder is at least a possibility for the rest of the day today. CAPE values, yes, they're not as impressive as what we see during the summertime, but still, here in the cool season, 500 to 750 joules per kilogram. That's enough. That's certainly sufficient for some thunder. And in an environment like this, with some stronger winds aloft, especially that cold core low that we have, it doesn't take a lot to get at least a brief strong or even isolated severe thunderstorm. And so we will have to keep that in mind as we go through the day today and tonight. Again, this is not a widespread threat. It's just a small possibility. We saw a couple of those yesterday. And again, I would say the main threat from any thunderstorms would just be some pretty heavy downpours. But something that we'll keep an eye on through the rest of the day today and tonight. All right, now let's go to tomorrow. And that area of low pressure is moving out. And we'll still have some scattered showers around, though. We're going to call for about a 30% chance of rain here in Phoenix. High temperatures should top out somewhere in the low to mid 60s. It'll still be a cool day, kind of unsettled, but again, not widespread precipitation. If you have outdoor activities planned for tomorrow, don't cancel them. Just know that, yes, some showers are still possible, kind of hit and miss for the day tomorrow. Let's go to Friday. Here comes our next weather system, and clouds will come in once again with this. I think we'll see at least some sun around here on Friday, but it's still a chance at a few showers around. Again, we're not going to be totally clear of the rain, but it's also not going to rain all day, and it's not really a huge threat, and any rain that falls would be generally on the light side. But still, yes, there is that chance of showers, especially across central, western, southwest Arizona. High temperatures will top out somewhere in the mid 60s again on Friday. Saturday, that area of low pressure comes through. This is not going to be a washout. The preponderance of guidance keeps the bulk of the energy with this just south of us, but still, scattered showers will be around. They'll be mainly light, about a 30% chance that we'll see some precipitation here on Saturday. If it does happen, it would be on the light side. And again, scattered is the word. So some of you may wind up seeing nothing out of this. If this system had tracked a little bit further to the north, we might have slightly better chances of precipitation. But as it is, there's not a ton of moisture with this feature. It does have some antecedent moisture to work with over the region, and it's got enough cold air aloft for some instability. So, we can't rule out showers. I don't think there's much of a risk of thunder. I suppose there could be a clap of thunder someplace Saturday afternoon. But generally speaking, not much to worry about with that system. All right, high temperatures on Saturday, mid to upper 60s. Here's Sunday. That's going to start to move out. There might be a shower around in the morning, but we'll see decreasing clouds. Temperatures, mid 60s to about 70 as we go into next week. High temperatures on Monday, 66 to 70. Overnight lows, mainly in the 40s. For most of us, around 50 maybe in the urban core. Same story Tuesday. We start the day out mid 40s to about 50. High temperatures will top out right around 70, maybe just shy of 70. And so again, slightly below average, but hey, we'll take it. Sounds wonderful. A week from today, this is Wednesday, the 26th, Thanksgiving Eve, also known as the busiest travel day of the year. And again, it's kind of the same story. Some showers maybe for parts of the Gulf Coast, a little bit more of a mess for parts of the Great Lakes. Maybe moving into the Northeast ultimately. It doesn't look quite as bad as what we were looking at yesterday, though. And some precipitation perhaps over the Pacific Northwest. But around here, guess what? It is quiet and mild. Temperatures would be warming back into the low, maybe even middle 70s in the warmest desert spots next Wednesday. So no travel troubles out here in the Southwest. Here is Thursday. It's Thanksgiving Day. And again, high pressure would be around here. Temperatures would be mild. We're seeing model guidance showing mostly mid 70s here in Phoenix for Thanksgiving. That's actually a little bit above seasonal averages. But of course, we all know Thanksgiving can be a lot hotter than that. We've seen temps near 90 on Thanksgiving before. I think the record for Thanksgiving isn't at 89, I believe. We have seen very, very cold, wet Thanksgiving days as well. We've seen kind of anything in between, so this won't be too bad. 70s, mid 70s, we'll take that. End of the forecast period, Friday the 28th, Black Friday. The GFS shows a trough coming into the Pacific Northwest. Most of the other guidance does not show that. It continues with high pressure here, but if that's right, heights are suppressed a little bit, but temperatures would be held in check. We won't get too much warmer. In fact, highs would probably stay in the low to mid 70s here across the Southwest deserts, and conditions would remain dry, but for perhaps just a few high clouds. Rainfall for Phoenix out through the 3rd of December off the GFS ensemble, almost, 1.5 to 2 inches. And same story on all the other guidance here. The European model, the European ensemble, the mean is about the same there, and European AI. Again, we've seen this mean anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches. I mean, my goodness. I think these are overdone, and I think after Saturday or early Sunday, we're probably going to enter a fairly lengthy period of drier weather that is likely to last 7 to 10 days. So I don't really foresee any big changes. The only tiny caveat to that is out right about the very end of November, guidance does show a pesky upper low that's kind of caught out there in a Rex block pattern out over the East Pacific that might try to drift in here at some point. But I would suggest that is a very low end possibility. And even if that were to occur, it probably would not really produce much in terms of precipitation. Those kind of features generally don't this time of year unless they have a good subtropical moisture tap. So, but guidance does suggest some kind of strange things still happening. So we're going to keep an eye on it. All right, looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. Below average today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But as we go into next week, those daytime highs will actually go to above average levels. And again, the NBM is printing out 76 on Thanksgiving Day. And hey, if that was to be the outcome, we'd take it. That is beautiful. If you have Thanksgiving plans, if you like to have some of your festivities or all of them outdoors, hey, 76 ain't bad. That's for sure. But should be a pretty nice day overall. And those lows generally in the 50s. And again, that's at Sky Harbor. Most areas will be down in the 40s on many mornings. All right, let's check I think I put it in here, the CPC outlook. This runs out through the 2nd of December. It's off, this is the temperature guidance here. And if this is right, the probability is now skewed toward near average temperatures for the end of November and early December. And around here in Phoenix, well, the average high temperature on December 1st is 69 degrees in Phoenix. So, I mean, we'll take that. Precipitation is still actually, interestingly enough, skewed slightly above average during this period. I find that interesting given that a number of at least the deterministic model output has, a lot of that guidance is showing drier weather for much of the end of November and out toward the 1st of December outside of a few outliers. So I'm kind of interested to see what the CPC guys are going to do here in future runs and future outlooks, but interesting that they still have us in the above average, at least slightly above average probability of precipitation. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning, health pending. And if you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really enjoy what we do here and you want to support the channel, well, by all means, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make a contribution to us that way, or via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo is also linked up down in the description, so I highly encourage you to take advantage of that. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Kylie related, Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description below. All right, our streaming station, that's there 24/7, 365, called KMGX. Play a lot of music, have a lot of fun with that. Check out Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files on YouTube, courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files goodies. Dan runs a great channel over there, and I highly encourage you to check that out. If you support me, if you really like what we do here, you ought to check out Dan. You would be doing me a favor. But you know what? It's not even about me. It's about yourselves. It's content. It is great content. You will thank me later, and then you'll thank Dan. And, he'd like to hear that. Sometimes people just need to hear thanks. Really do appreciate that. And you guys do that here in this community all the time. And I read all those comments every single day, and it is very, very nice, especially when you're not feeling so great. It's always nice to hear an attaboy once in a while, But only if I deserve it. I don't want any false praise. All right. Sometimes, in the weather biz, we screw up too, All right. I have been holding back a cough, a sneeze, a lot of stuff here for how long have we been doing? 15, 18 minutes, 19 minutes? Goodness gracious. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. Thank you for bearing with me this morning. Please, I want you to be safe out there, though. Enjoy the rain where you can find it. Have yourselves a delightful rest of your Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.